You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before.
Just that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another mill. They say the other mill is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers.
Combs was found not guilty of the stronger charges of trafficking and racketeering. What do you think of the split verdict? 50 Cent responded about Combs. That was luck. He beat the case, but people don't understand why he was crying on a chair, right? His finances are dwindling. He should have filed for bankruptcy.
Both of those civil lawsuits, and found that there was some criminal activity in those lawsuits. We spoke that on Art of Dialogue. We spoke about that on your show. I said if they really wanted him, all they had to do was review those civil lawsuits.
Greg.
Oprah. J-Lo. A-Rod. Will Smith. Alicia Keys. Look at this pretty hair. Black King God, dude. Justin Bieber. Kevin Hart. Mark Wahlberg. Snoop. DJ Khaled. Swiss Beats. Kelly Rowland. Chris Brown. Maluma. Sheree. Sierra. Janelle Monáe. Yeah, that's my sis right there. Lizzo. Megan Thee Stallion. J Balvin. Naomi Campbell. That's your auntie. Rita Wilson. Gabrielle Union. Dwayne Wade. Usher. Demi Lovato. Shaq and his whole family. Tracy Ellis Ross. Little Uzi Vert. Sway Lee. Rick Ross. Julian Huff. Diplo. E-Night. Drea. Burna Boy. The show Sir Singer. Nicole Scherzinger. Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls. Say Nicole. From the Pussycat Dolls. That's right. Paris Goebel. Cara Delevingne. Winnie Harlow. Prince Montana. And a bunch of big surprises that I can't tell you. Because they're so big, sometimes they get busy and they forget that they committed to.
The hip-hop world jolted awake when 50 Cent confirmed that more unreleased footage of Sean Diddy Combs exists and that the reckoning is far from over. For decades, Curtis Jackson has built a reputation as an outsider who survived the industry rather than submitting to it, a trait forged through violence, betrayal, and public resilience. Now, his decision to speak is not framed as revenge, but as obligation, one rooted in fearlessness rather than profit. When the loudest voice comes from the one least afraid, is it courage or simply inevitability?
You heard about the chick that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another mill? They say the other mill is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, is only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black, that are black actors or black in the business, that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy, that's black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that that Rat Pack, and I don't want to even say their names because they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner. What's the other guy? Leonardo. Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats, but I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope on, for his sake, that that's just a bunch of bull crap. But then there's lawyers out there saying, yeah, the tape does exist. Lawyers got on television to say the tapes exist. I don't really know or trust that, because they was trying to say he had a tape with one of the bodyguards and this lady that came out. So we don't know what to think until we actually see that and we get that version. You remember we had that bootleg version of R. Kelly tape?
Yeah, I remember that.
They don't even bootleg. Yo, they don't even bootleg no more, man. So it's gonna be hard to figure it out if it does exist.
Do you believe the guy in the tape is white?
If he's bigger than Diddy and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so.
50 Cent insists this is not a personal crusade, but a story few were willing to tell while power still loomed. Large, his career has been defined by confrontation, both physical and institutional, making retaliation feel familiar rather than paralyzing. In an industry shaped by silence agreements and quiet compliance, his candor disrupts an unwritten code. If survival frees a man from fear, does it also bind him to truth?
Part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Oh, he's loving this.
Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account and how he was coming off to the public.
We knew that was coming, by the way, because we learned that throughout as he was using his own kids to post birthday messages and etc. Like, this guy wants to control everything.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
He's like, oh yeah, look at all these. This wasn't shot. Yeah, what's up? What is shaking hands? Yeah, I'll take this. He thrives in this. This is yeah, when people recognize him, he seems to. What up? Like, barely anybody there. He's like, yeah, everybody's here looking at me. He's like the quarterback that can never graduate, it feels like to me.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
I've been in the streets amongst people. I gotta take a bath. He's like horrified. He's disgusted by it.
Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
I have to do it. Not like, oh, that was so great, I loved it. I have to do it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
He's got to take those 150 hugs. Now, that's when she asks, like, 50 Cent, why'd you include this?
Like, I need to wash. Like, I'm dirt. That was It should show you his character.
Is that was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
I think he does that a lot, surprisingly. I think he just lives his life with cameras. He was filming his most intimate moments, allegedly, with these freak-offs, right? Revealing his true self and the most, aggressive side of himself. He didn't care.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important.
And she chimes in too, but I want to, just before we hear her pop, he said, "What a feud. I put 2 of his kids in my scripted TV shows. I just didn't like," he said, "Fruity S to me," and he said Fruity S to me. I don't like that, LOL. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. He just said it, I think, very clearly. Look, he was testing me. Are you in? Are you into play? Are you going to play along with me? Can I have some fun with you? I do think clearly was it. Can you be my Paul? Is what he's trying to figure out.
To also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
While 50 Cent projects confidence, the documentary's director openly acknowledges fear of consequences, of retaliation. Of what exposure invites, her hope, she explains, is not destruction but dialogue, a conversation about what society tolerates and quietly endorses. The contrast is striking, one voice hardened by experience, the other cautious but compelled. Can truth survive when even those telling it are afraid of where it leads?
He go 2 years, he go to a halfway house. That's it.
You think Diddy is strong enough to do 2 years?
I just told you, bro. Kirk Burrows, Lil' Kim. There's a lot of other people in the music industry that done federal time.
Because you told me he was suicidal. That's why I asked.
Everybody's suicidal when they first go to prison. Everybody's suicidal. If you've never been to prison before, you've never been behind bars, everybody is suicidal. Then you get used to it. It becomes your livelihood. You learn how to stay alive. You got a crust of bread in the corner to sleep in. Everything else is a blessing. It was something that was powerful that Diddy said. He said to the judge, he said, "I can't change the past, but I can change the future." As if that he knew if the judge would let him out today, that he was going to do some things that was going to be powerful, whether it's in the industry, whether it was in this new life that he said he was going to do with the drug treatment programs, with the domestic violence. See, that's the avenue that he probably used now. You know what I'm saying? Get into it, because he can't go back to the music industry because he wasn't doing nothing in the music industry anyway. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would have him marketed anything unless it's Astroglide and Baby Oil. So he can't do the marketing thing right now. So he may be trying to look at the drug treatment programs and setting up different type of nonprofit agencies. You understand? Because them people make a whole lot of money on government grants, federal grants, state grants, city grants. So that might be his new avenue. Because he said he can't change the past. He's recognizing that, and he's gonna look to the future. So we'll see. He'll be all right. If I could say one thing to him, in all honesty, don't drop the soap.
When Diddy does get out, what direction you think he should go in?
My personal opinion, when he get out, and if he wants to do anything that is going to give him any kind of recognition or any sense of changing, he should do whatever he learned in those rehabilitation classes with reentry, with drug treatment, with domestic violence, open up some nonprofit agencies that people can get help from, or he can use his platform for doing the right thing by people that has been wrong, whether it's in domestic violence or in drug treatment. I think he should go in that route.
What you think about Diddy complaining about the living conditions in prison?
It's prison. He's not the only one in those conditions. You got to realize there's other inmates in that dormitory that has the same he has, and they don't have a commissary that he has. You got to realize they have a commissary, and he's gonna get the best out of the commissary because he's able to use all the money he got to get whatever in the commissary. And then the people around him, he could put money in their commissary.
When asked about Diddy's split verdict, 50 Cent calls it luck, not innocence. He points to financial strain, misplaced confidence, and lawyers who promise freedom instead of preparing for reality. The tears, he argues, were not relief but realization. The moment wealth could no longer guarantee control. When power fails in court, does accountability finally begin or merely change shape?
For allegedly betraying his lawyer. I want you to see this clip because he's pretty spot on here. It just shows you what kind of person Diddy is. So while his lawyers may be slimy, Diddy's way slimier.
Boy, Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship.
And to add to what Harvey's saying, this is so good for 50 because now all this talk about these tapes and should he have them and should he not? It sounds like, yes, they got them legally. Diddy's got no shot at it, but it only added more interest. So now even more people are watching this story that they probably otherwise maybe would have skipped because it would have just been a recap of what we knew. Seeing the Diddy footage, seeing him and his hubris makes it far more engrossing to watch.
Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person.
That's key, right? Because the lawyer needs to have that privilege as well, so he can speak candidly, speak honestly. Not anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. That's what they say, right? So you except for when you're talking to your lawyer, that's when it's safe to have real conversations, and a lawyer should have that right. And Diddy forego that right. Look at this. He's going to continue here. One more part I want to get to that's, I think, incredibly important. It wasn't just an accident that this jury had heard all this in the news before the trial and voted not guilty on all the serious charges. Here, I'm just refreshing to 144. I want to get to this section.
Agnifilo is on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him.
I mean, I'm a little shocked that this is what made you so upset about Diddy, Harvey Levin, not all the allegations, not all the other crap that Diddy has done. This is the line for Harvey Levin. Well, yeah, because he's a former lawyer and what have you, but I'd love to see this kind of energy against, what he did to the victims. I'd love to see this kind of energy against Blake Lively. A lot of these people in Hollywood are horrible, awful people. And it's just the irony of him, that this is when he loses it, guys. Anyway, now where's 50 Cent going to release this footage? Well,
legal commentators reacted sharply to revelations that Diddy secretly recorded conversations with his own defense attorney. Attorney-client privilege, the last sanctuary of honesty in the justice system, appeared compromised by ego and paranoia. The actor framed Diddy not as a victim of media frenzy, but as an architect of his own collapse. If a man cannot trust his lawyer, who does he trust, and what does that say about him?
Guys, this is nuts. Sean Diddy Combs was still filming himself a week before he got arrested, months after the feds had already raided and taken all his tapes, and somehow that footage got to 50 Cent, who's now put it in his Netflix documentary. Needless to say, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers are not too happy. Well, we got the clips, and you're gonna wanna watch them before they might get pulled elsewhere. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and look, I'm sharing what YouTube has already out. The news is all over it. Good Morning America. I don't know if this footage was legally obtained. I'm not sure. I'm going to give you my speculation as well as my shock that somehow all this footage Sean Diddy Combs was filming before he got arrested after the raids got into the hands of 50 Cent, one of his arch nemesis. And now 50 has put the footage in his Netflix documentary. The mogul spokesman, Diddy spokesman, says they're deeply concerned that video shot days before the arrest is in this new documentary produced by his rival. How did 50 get it? Now, all right, we're gonna go through, I have the clips, we're gonna play some of the clips before we get there. Let's start with this teaser because the teaser shows some important stuff in the beginning, but I have some longer clips that were released elsewhere. Let's share this first. Look at that, 6 days before the arrest, here he is getting some shots of me looking out at the city like I own it. This is somebody he hired, I'm assuming, to continuously film himself because it seems like he could never stop. And I gotta offer this commentary. If you wanna watch it without me starting and stopping, you can go to Netflix and watch it there. But I don't want this video getting pulled, so I gotta make sure it has fair use. 6 days!
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
What? Wait, hold on. There's a lot to unpack there. We have to find somebody who has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business, seemingly implying that, yeah, our stuff is super, super dirty. Like the dirtiest. We need someone there
dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
Because we're losing. Wow. And then boom.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs.
I love the wah wah from 50 Cent.
All of these reincarnations, all those name changes are attached to really bad deeds.
And here's where I gotta be careful because they show some footage that a lot of quick clips, but because it's including the Cassie video, so I don't want this video pulled. The Reckoning, that's the reveal, and it's dropping this last clip.
Everything in life, you're gonna have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
He chose his side, all right. Sean Combs, The Reckoning drops tomorrow on Netflix. That's how you do a teaser. But where this gets more interesting is there is more footage. Good Morning America got its hand on it. Here it is.
Never before seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
So it is, they're saying it's his lawyers. How on earth did 50 Cent get a hold of footage of his lawyers? Now, one could say, isn't that privilege? How is this footage allowed? Now, you could also...
The leaked footage did more than confirm rumors that transformed the narrative. From abstract allegations to visible behavior, audiences were no longer asked to imagine excess or arrogance. They were shown it. In doing so, the documentary crossed a line from recap to evidence, forcing viewers to confront discomfort directly. When documentation replaces speculation, does belief become unavoidable?
Well, he's teasing it. He's teasing. Here's a clip from the Sherry Shepherd
We
show.
congratulate you on your docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. It's #1 on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, it's been #1 on Netflix. Did you actually expect it to be as big as it got?
I
As it
expected
is?
it to be bigger. It's
Yeah.
actually exceeding my expectations now.
Wow.
Stranger Things is a huge show, and it's.
Yeah,
I
the fact
think you
that
should start a private investigation firm. I'll be your.
it's tying up with Stranger Things. In fact, the ratings here that came in. I mean, Stranger Things first episodes debut put up a massive 25.2 million. Stranger Things itself, and then it's trying to do it's a lot here as they're adding it all up. Still, you got to remember, put season 5 at 84.8 million views since its launch. That's a lot. That's a huge amount. But Diddy's show racked in 21.8, which is massive as well. That's a huge bump for all 4 series. So those 2 shows are on top of Netflix right now, which is all that. But Sherry gets a little bit more into.
First client.
He should do more of these shows.
50 find out everything.
50 find out everything. I'd watch that show, to be honest.
Now, because this is a lot of the personal footage of Diddy. It shocked a lot of people. And I know, 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown?
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make the. It was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things. Like even in an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone. He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac.
Wow.
To add to it, but we had to cut it down so he couldn't.
For time.
Yeah.
So are you coming out? I know next year is going to be a #2. Season 2?
Or just put it on YouTube.
I just put it on YouTube. Where we can subscribe and get it. I love it. And
She does also an interesting ask. She asks, like, is there another person you want to make a series about? And he does kind of pull out, like, I don't want to get into that kind of business. This was just a one and done important case that he knew he could add some. But to wrap up this angle, now Diddy and family are launching a $1 billion lawsuit, preparing the biggest defamation case in history. I'd maybe back down on that. I think because in doing so, they're gonna have to prove that everything was said was untrue. And they're gonna have to go through even more than you've already gone through. Maybe that's part of it where they're like, well, sure, we've already given it all to the feds, but did you give it? I don't know. You really want to open yourself up again? And what are you gonna win out of this? Give me a break. Oh, it was all lies. Diddy didn't do that to Cassie. Diddy isn't a monster. Come on. He's proving every day in prison. He's getting delayed for, I promise, Your Honor, I'll be better. Diddy sucks. Diddy sucks. Serve your time, Diddy, and then I guess you're allowed back in per the rules. And it is what it is, and some people will still support, but this idea that he's now gonna win, nonsense. And I believe 50 Cent. I think he's really struggling financially. That was not cheap. He's got a lot of money, to be fair, but there's no new money coming in, and he's gonna have a tough time paying for all this. He can't just keep doing it forever. And interesting how 50 Cent said it. He thought he was going home, and instead he's paying the lawyers even more to keep fighting the appeal. You go through, I need this, I need that, I need that. This is a never-ending money suck. And sure, he's got a lot of money. I'm sure he still has money. The lifestyle that this family lives, without more money coming in, he's gonna start feeling it, and that's gonna be the real punishment, guys. Stay tuned.
Oh, before.
Yeah, so what they did was they reviewed both of those civil lawsuits and found that there was some criminal activity in those lawsuits. We spoke that on Art of Dialogue. We spoke about that on your show. I said if they really wanted him, all they had to do was review those civil lawsuits. And once they find the criminal activity in those, they could bring him in. Now, did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think there's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think? I think they're not telling the whole truth, is that because of the situation in Miami and the situation in California, and they closed the clubs like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and something like that, that Justin and Christian was bringing big vans of girls and people back to the mansion and giving parties and stuff like that. And a lot of those stuff were their parties. A lot of that shit was their parties. They wasn't always Puff parties. It was his son's parties.
Good point. They said so many.
50 Cent now hints that not everything made the final cut, and that future releases may bypass traditional platforms altogether. As Diddy's camp floats the idea of billion-dollar defamation lawsuits, the cost of reopening scrutiny looms larger than potential victory. What remains is a slow financial and reputational erosion, one that punishment alone cannot replicate. In the end, is exposure the harshest sentence of all?